Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be discussing about dynamics of disease transmission. Communicable diseases are transmitted from the reservoir to susceptible host through a chain of transmission cycle. The components of this cycle includes reservoir, portal of exit, modes of transmission, portal of inlet, and susceptible host. Reservoir. What is a reservoir? Reservoir is basically any person, animal, plant, soil, or any substance in which an infectious agent usually lives and multiplies, and it depends primarily for survival as well as for its reproduction, in such a manner that it can be transmitted to a susceptible host. So basically, the reservoir is the starting point for occurrence of a communicable disease, and it is the natural habitat in which the organism metabolizes and replicates. There are three types of reservoirs, which can be human, animal, or non-living things. So, portal of exit is basically how an infectious agent exits the reservoir in order to infect the susceptible host. It can be through a variety of ways. It can be from the wounds, from our skin, from our respiratory route, or the fecal matter. Moving on, we will be talking about mode of transmission. So mode of transmission is the way any communicable diseases spread from reservoir to the susceptible host, and it can be indirect or direct. In the direct mode of transmission, you can say if we come directly in contact with an infected person, or we directly touch them, or from droplet infection, contact with soil, or transmission to vertical transmission is also included in the direct mode of transmission. Now, if we talk about the indirect mode of transmission, then it can be vehicle-borne, vector-borne, airborne, fomite-borne, or even from our dirty hands. The disease is spread from our unclean hands. That is also a mode of transmission for the pathogenic agent to make way into our body. Now we're going to talk about portal of inlet. Portal of inlet is basically how that pathogenic agent makes its way into the susceptible host. It can be in different from our eyes, from our mouth. If we inhale the droplets from a susceptible person or an infected person who has the disease, and we can get it from droplet infection. Or basically, even if we touch unclean things, the things that are contaminated, and then we eat food, or we touch our face or our skin. It can also go from our skin, from open wounds or cuts. May be more obvious. So moving on, we're going to talk about the susceptible host now. So what is a susceptible host? This is basically the organism that will be infected by the infectious agent. And in order for the cycle to be completed, all of these steps have to be met, or otherwise the infectious agent cannot be spread. And let's take a deeper look at it by looking at the example of measles. In measles, let's say, what is the agent here? For measles, there is a virus, which is paramyxovirus, and humans are the only known reservoir for measles. Portal of exit. So how does measles virus leave the infected person? Well, the portal of exit for measles virus is respiratory tract in the form of sneeze or cough. That is the way this measles virus leaves as infected person. Mode of transmission, so as I mentioned earlier, it is in the form of droplet infections, which is direct transmission, and obviously it can be airborne spread, as well as if a person sneezes or coughs, on any surface and that surface becomes contaminated, and if another person touches that surface and then rubs their eyes or touches their mouth or their nose, then that is the portal of entry. So portal of entry is respiratory tract or through our eyes. Susceptible host for measles is any person who is unvaccinated, is susceptible to having infection of measles virus. So that was it. I hope it's clear. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Do subscribe and like my channel. Thank you.